Okay. Well, we're starting really late. I'm getting a lot of echo in my headset, but welcome to Touch Me Tuesdays, where we talk about things that have touched me this week, and it's also Tuesday. John, are you getting that feedback?
Not. Is it gone now?
Uh, test, test. All right, yeah, we're good now.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to talk about. We're starting like 15 minutes late because we were fucking around with the studio equipment. But on the subject of touching people, the Epstein files were only given out to like right-wing social media influencers or something, right? Which seems insane to me. What the it's like if your teacher only gives candy to like the cool kids in class. It seems absolutely fucking retarded. Why not submit that to like a group of normal people, right? That seems insane to me. Yeah, so that pissed me off. Let's see this article, John. I want to take a look at it.
The CBS one?
Yeah. Also, I was thinking about this the other day. You know how they have like television shows for like a couple of famous people? They'll get together and make a sitcom. If Epstein and Clinton got together and made a sitcom, you know what it would be called?
Let's hear it.
Honey, I Touched the Kids. That would be their sitcom, and yeah.
Well, going with that theme, I feel like that has to be a musical, no?
Was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids a musical?
I thought so.
I don't think so. I've never seen it, so I've never seen it. So I just know that that's its title.
Okay.
That's the best I got. Right-wing influencers get binders labeled the Epstein Files. Tell me it's a psyop without telling me it's a psyop. They're just walking around with binders labeled the Epstein Files and taking pictures with them like they're at some fucking national monument. This is absolutely moronic. There's no way those have anything in them at all. Those are about as blank as probably the look on like AOC's face when somebody asks her to make any intelligent comment. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I got really upset about that. It touched me in a negative way, in a very negative way.
I don't even recognize who half of those people are.
I don't know.
It's like, I mean, I know Jack, retarded last name that I can't pronounce.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I see him on Twitter all the time. I don't know the rest of these people.
Who the fuck knows? No one knows who any of these people are. They're supposedly right-wing influencers just walking around with books that say the Epstein Files. We're reading the Epstein Files. We're reading them. They've got stuff in them.
That's ridiculous.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Absolute bullshit. I'm getting myself worked up already. All right, let's go on to the next one because I'm going to get cranky about this. I saw a post that guy made, whatever I can't remember his dumbass name, on social media about how he was going to look through it and let no one. If it's taking this long and you're only giving those lists out to certain people, there's nothing on them. There's nothing on them. But in keeping in the same thematic vein, right? Epstein liked to touch kids. In Florida, they're going to make kids work. What?
That was some transition into this article.
It's the same. We're on the it's same theme,
okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Florida's touching children by debating lifting child labor laws.
Okay.
That seems good, right? That seems good. You want to raise your child and then send them to work in a swamp where they might get eaten by an anaconda or whatever they have down in Florida. Florida's been working for years to crack down on employers that hire undocumented immigrants, but that presented a problem for businesses in the state that are desperate for workers to fill low-wage and often undesirable jobs. Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis and the state legislature have a potential solution. Children. On Tuesday, they advanced a bill that would loosen child labor laws, allowing children as young as 14 years old to work overnight shifts. Overnight shifts. These kids aren't allowed to drive, vote, smoke, drink, but we're going to have them working overnight shifts and then trying to go to school at fucking 8 a.m. This makes sense, right?
Oh, yeah.
This makes a ton of sense. Instead of sending your kid to military school, send them to the fucking... I don't even know. What are there any businesses left in Florida?
I would say probably more than, all the freaking northeastern people are going to Florida, right?
That's a good point.
All the
Everyone
old
from
boomers fleeing New York.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, what do those people need? Drugs? Are the kids going to work at a drug factory? Are they going to work for Big Pharma?
I don't know. I don't really know what Florida actually like. I don't know what their industry is or what they actually produce. It's like what? I guess working tourism.
Tourism. I know there's a functional medicine like pill maker, which isn't really fun. This is Zymogen. They have a factory down there.
That's a fucking oxymoron.
Yeah, I know. I agree. These teens are currently prevented from working earlier than 6:30 a.m. or later than 11 p.m. Put those 14-year-olds to work, Florida. Get those sons of bitches out of your house. Send them to the factory. Maybe they can lose an arm. Dad lost an arm in the war. They can lose an arm going to fucking work.
All right. So, since Robert's not here,
Uh-huh.
I have to step in,
What?
check the times. What is 6 plus 3?
No. Oh, my gosh. All these hardcore conspiracy theorists are going to jump all over that. That is a 9/11.
Yep.
6:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Wow. I just read right over that, John.
I unfortunately can't do that anymore.
Yeah, we've been hanging out with
Like,
that
I can't.
bastard too much.
I see him everywhere now, and it fucking sucks.
This is the problem when you live in a conspiracy theory echo chamber. The whole Twitter feed for the Veritas Road is just insane people. Insane people who see 9s, 11s, and Semites everywhere. Like, that's all that's on our Twitter feed. That is it. That's on, like, our group Twitter feed. It's terrible. It's absolutely awful.
But the problem is like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then you kind of think, well, what the fuck is it doing there, you know? Like, there has to be some legitimacy to it.
Or maybe people don't want their kids going to work at 5 a.m.
Well, I
Or after 11.
I'm sure, but
Is something wrong with that?
no, but I'm sure you just got to think of, like, why 6:30 to 11? Why not 5:30 to 10, right? Why not 7:30 to 9?
Because that's just the way things sometimes work out.
Like, I don't know. It's just
It is odd.
just
It is a little odd.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I just think it's weird that they're tired of all the migrant workers, so they're like, "Hey, you know what? We got a solution. Children. Let's fix the migrant problem with children." That seems a little odd to me. Aren't these people all about, like, the nuclear family and building better family? What about sending kids to work at a damn factory at 14 fixes that problem? I just don't get it.
I mean, Republicans aren't all about the nuclear family. That's a load of bullshit.
Well, they say
Republicans
they
aren't
are.
conservatives.
I would be willing to bet Ron DeSantis says he
Oh,
is.
they probably do, but they don't, preach that at all. Is like another thing that's been in the timeline over the past little bit is Elon making a baby with that what's her face.
I know.
And
I
it's
wanted
like,
to talk about that a couple of weeks ago.
You know, and all of these, so-called conservative influencers are out here, just praising that to all heaven. It's like,
Yeah, why are we such a big
doesn't-
fan of that?
Yeah,
Son of a bitch is putting the rocket fuel in the wrong place. He's confused. Okay? Stop it.
yeah.
What are you doing?
And it's just like celebrating, single motherhood and celebrating, the whole family, like, legal system that goes on with that, And
Yeah.
it's like most of that seems to go against traditional conservative values, but you have pretty much every Republican influencer just pulling their pants down and celebrating that,
Well, it's the strange, like, adoption of big tech by the conservative powers that be, which seems a lot dystopian to me. It's super uncomfortable. And I don't know what to do with that, honestly, at the end of the day. But, like, the integration of Tesla and Elon Musk with the government? Are we okay? Why are people okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's super creepy, especially when you think about, just 4 years ago, conservatives were the biggest people decrying big tech,
Right.
and it is crazy how that, I haven't even thought about that much, but how that's just, like, shifted just at the snap of the finger.
Drop of a hat. I mean, it all happened over last summer,
Yeah.
where there was this massive shift from, like, fuck Facebook, Zuckerberg, Elon, all of that, to these are our gods now.
Yeah, I mean, even Zuckerberg's becoming cool in
Yeah.
the right-wing movement.
He was on Rogan.
He went on Rogan and kind of, did his apology tour.
Yeah.
And now, like, right wingers are kind of starting to see them kind of embrace him too. It
Yeah,
seems
I
like
mean,
YouTube is the only one. Like YouTube and Google are the only ones that are still on the out.
well, I mean, they're too big to fail. They're not going to change their opinion. I mean, I guess so is Facebook. So it is odd that, like, Facebook and Jeff Bezos was at the freaking inauguration. It's odd that those have kind of shifted loyalties publicly, and then Google's just doing its own thing. It's super weird.
Yeah, and it's just
It's super weird.
It's odd that the right just let them off the hook.
Yeah,
Like that's what pisses me off is like the right's just
that's a good point.
just let like if you think of just the Hunter Biden story that's what Zuckerberg talked about on that Rogan episode.
Yeah,
Is like, where's your damn apology? Like, I mean, at minimum, dude.
they're not going to
It's
apologize.
like
What are you talking about?
Like how many people's lives did they ruin over the past decade? Like people who are earning living off of those platforms, and the people they demonetize, like,
Yeah.
and a lot of right wingers just let those people off the hook, and that's creepy to me.
That is a little fucked. The amount of people who have been absolutely screwed by big tech, and we're cool with it now. It's fine. They're us now. Somebody made this point the other day in a podcast I was listening to. They were like, all you need to make friends with a conservative is like to say, hey, I like Trump. He's a good guy. That's it. That's all you need these days. You cannot do the same thing with the liberal side of things at all. And it's nice. It's very inclusive. Hey, come on in. We can be friends. But also, maybe take a second look at these people who you're putting in charge of government efficiency or whatever the hell Elon's supposed to be doing. I don't know. Maybe think about that a little more.
Yeah,
Just one guy's opinion.
It's scary because you actually can do the same with the liberal side of thing and the conservative side of thing. You just have to be either I like Trump or I don't. And it's crazy the figure he's becoming there for people.
That's a fair point.
It's like it's a creepy dividing line.
It is a little weird. It is a little weird. Speaking of big tech, though, I think there's one in here. I think you found something about Elon. This Nazi salute he's supposedly doing. I hadn't taken a look. I just assumed he was waving at the crowd.
Can you please just hear me out? No, all work
But this
management
is a little
platforms are
bit
the same. They take forever to learn, and in the end,
And sure,
nobody
maybe
is.
it's a Roman
And I just want to say
If it
thank.
is, that's hilarious. Maybe, and we can all. I feel like we can all forgive him for this. Maybe he's just a big history fan, and maybe he just happens to be fond of Adolf Hitler. Maybe he's just a nice guy who also happens to like Austrian dictators, and I think that's a good thing. I think it's good.
Thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
The Bronstein does it, like a tennis player.
My heart goes out to you. Yes!
That is full on autism.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah! And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. This there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, important, some are not. But this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
I don't know what to even say about that. That's super weird. Walking around, goose-stepping and grunting. That's tantamount to like a neo-Nazi circle jerk. I feel like that's what I would see in here if I were at one of those.
I don't know. He's a super weird guy. And I just wonder why is this election so the most important one to him when he's kind of seemingly most of his public life career is kind of chilled out of politics,
Oh, I mean, he's been super political over the past year or two.
I know. I'm just
Super
saying, like,
political.
before that, it kind of, at least maybe I'm just not paying attention. Doesn't seem like he was kind of that in the political space kind of before this go around.
He wasn't. It wasn't until I think it was when he bought Twitter that he really entered into the political space.
Yeah.
I don't remember when that was. What was that, 2022 or so?
It
Or maybe, was it before
It was
that?
like 2020. It was not before that. It was like late.
Let's find out.
2022
Let's
going
look it
into
up and see when
2023.
he bought Twitter. I think it's been. I thought it'd been longer than that.
I don't think so.
I thought it was around the Rona. I thought it was around 2020, but I could be wrong.
Oh gosh, no, because Twitter did. I mean,
I thought it was shortly after the Rona because there was all the censorship, right? I thought a year or two later, Musk bought Twitter to try to fix some,
It was in
2022. There you
I
go.
guess you're
About 2
right.
years after. And that's when he really entered the political realm because it was supposedly an effort to like take back free speech, right?
mm-hmm.
But who could you think of that would do a better job at crushing free speech than a supposed super genius who owns Twitter and also works for the government later on down the road? I don't know. Something about that makes me uncomfortable. What he's doing so far seems good. You know, let's get all the rats out of the government. Let's get all the fucking waste out. You know, let's promote free. All that seems good on the surface. But a tech giant entering in to the United States government makes me wanna puke. It makes me nervous. Makes me super nervous.
October 28th, Twitter ceased trading on the stock.
You're just weirdly reading
Yeah,
out loud while you're trying to
sorry, I
read.
was just looking at I was just looking for numerology there because I just can't let it
Oh
go.
my god, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I can't let it go.
The obsession with numerology in the conspiracy world. I get it. But also, like, can we calm down?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think there is something to it. I think
There's definitely something
like
to
if they care about it, you should too. And is like
it. See, that's where you start to lose me. If they care about it, you should sure that let them care about it, right? I'll be aware of it and then I'll live my life. Because when you start getting weird obsessed with stuff like that, is when you start to lose your fucking mind.
there is truth to that.
There's a lot
there's
of truth to
a
that.
ton of truth.
How
to
many
that.
people do you know who have gotten weird obsessed with numerology?
I mean, a few.
All right. How many of them are borderline insane?
Not as
All of them?
no. I
all
would say
of them?
all of them,
All of
but is like I don't know. It has something to do with how this place operates. So it is significant, and I think understanding it gives you a broader understanding of the world. And understanding of like whatever realm that we exist in. So I do think it's important. There is the caveat that it will make you lose your brain.
It will. I think that's part of the deal with that. I don't know. All right. Let's move on from Elon Musk. Tired of talking about it.
Yeah. All right.
What do we got on Twitter? More. Go to more.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's fucking different now.
Yeah.
All right.
Tuesday. All right. JD Vance.
Usha's visit to
What does he have to say? What are we going to learn from those luscious eyelashes? If there's a man on the planet with sexier eyelashes, send me those pics. Not in a gay way. I just want to see him. JD Vance has some great Is he wearing mascara? I don't know, but those are some nice eyelashes either way. Arguably his best feature. Would you agree?
I've never
Would
thought
you lick one? Would you lick an eyelash?
Okay, no.
Would you lick a
But
lash,
I've
John?
also never thought about it. Now that I'm noticing it, it makes him look like a massive emo homosexual. Much more than I thought he did before. I'm never going to be able to not see those now, and it really bothers me.
I mean, they're very nice. They're very nice. The first thing I noticed when he hit the political scene were not his politics or his policies. They were his eyelashes. I don't know what that says about me as a person, but that was the first thing I noticed, and we're listening.
Okay.
Greenland this Friday that I decided that I didn't want her to have all that fun by herself, and so I'm going to join her. I'm going to visit some of our
Start that at the
Guardian.
beginning, John. We started like several seconds in.
Hey guys, it's Shady Vance, the Vice President, and you know there was so much excitement around Usha's visit to Greenland this Friday that I decided that I didn't want her to have all that fun by herself, and so I'm going to join her. I'm going to visit some of our guardians in the Space Force on the northwest coast of Greenland and also just check out what's going on with the security there of Greenland. As you know, it's really important. A lot of other countries have threatened Greenland, have threatened to use its territories and its waterways to threaten the United States, to threaten Canada, and of course to threaten the people of Greenland. So we're going to check out how things are going there. And I say that speaking for President Trump, we want to reinvigorate the security of the people of Greenland because we think it's important to protecting the security of the entire world. Unfortunately, leaders in both America and in Denmark, I think, ignored Greenland for far too long. That's been bad for Greenland. It's also been bad for the security of the entire world. We think we can take things in a different direction, so I'm going to go check it out. Hey, guys.
Thank heavens for J.D. Vance, because without him, people who have no interest in taking part in the world stage and just want to be left alone wouldn't be bothered by fucking France and whoever this Ula Uda person is. I don't even know who that is. Also, why do we have Space Force operations in Greenland? Why do we have a Space Force to begin with? I imagine the Space Force's relationship to the military is like a hall monitor's relationship to a bully. Like, bend over and just let them fuck you. You're not doing anything else. It's a totally useless entity. You have no power. You're pointless. You're just there for people to say you're there. That's it. That is absolutely it. And what is the deal with the obsession, Trump's obsession with Greenland? Is that where we're going to fucking launch to Mars or take over? I don't even know what. Like, what is going on? John, this seems like something you followed.
I mean, I've heard theories, both from Robert and from other people that I follow, and its proximity to the North Pole, I think, is important. And just thinking, why is the Space Force there, and what are Space Force? What are fucking Space Force Guardians? What are they guarding against?
I forgot about what is a Guardian? What the hell is what are they guarding?
I mean, I don't know. And that's a super creepy name for a very weird organization that Trump established.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what the deal with Greenland is. It has to have, just from my lens, it has to have some type of metaphysical significance to something. Just from the way I see the world. But I don't know. And the Space Force Guardians thing is super weird.
That is
what do they do?
We've got several Guardians there.
We gotta figure out what they do.
All of our Guardians are guarding Greenland. They're keeping them safe. They don't. Yeah, let's find out what a Space Force Guardian is. Oh, they're all called Guardians.
Including military. The U.S. Space Force, including military and civilian personnel, are all called Guardians.
A name with roots in the Air Force Space Command's motto, Guardian. All right, fuck me.
Oh, sorry.
Guardians of the High Frontier. I mean, space is high, so I guess that makes sense.
And it's just that's kind of massively occult. Like, you think of, what we talked about a few episodes back with, the Masonic, all of their different levels. There's just the super freaking weird names that they have. That kind of goes in
some
with
weird names.
that kind of goes in with that.
Yeah,
That's
but this isn't like Son of the Eastern Scimitar's urethra, like those are,
I mean, yes, but that's still fucking weird. Guardians of the High Frontier. What the fuck are you guarding it against?
Well, supposedly I guess that was an Air Force Space something motto. So that was before they made the Space Force its own thing.
Okay. A name with roots in the Air Force Space Command.
Right.
Okay. That's at least a little bit more sensible.
I don't know. It's pretty dumb. We're Guardians of the High Frontier. It sounds like something you would tell a little kid with cancer who gets accepted into as an honorary deputy of the police force. You're a guardian, little buddy. You're a fucking guardian. Go out and get him. Sorry you're bald, but go ahead and fucking get him. Like, that's what that sounds like. That poor kid is going to get, like, beat up and pissed on. And they probably do that to the Space Force, let's be honest. I don't know what they do, but that's how I imagine they're treated. I feel bad saying things like that when I've never been in the military, but there it is. Yeah. And I'm a bitch. All right. Let's move on and wrap this up. Miss Scotland bit 2 security guards, called one the N-word as she was kicked out of a rugby competition. Listen. That's true beauty. Have you ever met a guy who is obsessed with just an absolutely insane, crazy... Well, there's a reason. This is why. This is what we all want. Somebody who's willing to kick a guy in the crotch and call someone the N-word. That's what we all want in a woman, and I respect her. And I don't believe any guy who says he wouldn't put up with that. Would you put up with that, John? I would put up with that.
Yeah, I mean, and let's be honest.
She's just spirited. Let her have a good time.
And at a Scottish rugby match,
Right.
the likelihood that the security guard was actually of some sort of African descent is probably pretty low.
Right. It's okay to call a white guy the N-word. That's fine, right? Or if you're both black. If you're both white, it's okay, and if you're both black, it's okay. Is that how that works?
Yeah, I feel like Mexicans have some claim to it somewhere in there, but
I don't think
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that if you're Mexican. You can pretend to be black if you're Mexican. Sometimes, if you're the right shade of Mexican, but no, you don't. You can't. They can't lay claim to that. But I think that's what we should be looking for in all our beauty competition winners. I think it shows spirit, and she should be applauded. I'm a fan. Miss Scotland, our thoughts and prayers are with you.
I hope your team won that rugby competition.
Yeah, that would be Scotland, John.
Okay, how do you know it was an international match?
I don't.
It could have been a club rugby match.
That's a fair point.
We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. Well, so the things that have touched me this week, Elon goose-stepping in front of a room full of people, I think that's just magical. And a Scottish lady calling a security guard the N-word. I think those are things that we can feel good about. Everybody's worried about a dystopian reality. A hot Scottish woman calling a security guard the N-word and biting him is about as good as it gets, I think, for most people. So take that home with you and think about it. Those are the things that touched me. And hopefully I touched you.
Yeah. And apparently J.D. Vance's eyebrows have touched him very significantly, too.
They're so nice.
I'm sorry, eyelashes.
I would kill for eyebrows like that. Or not eyebrows, eyelashes. Mine are blonde. I look like, if you look at me without my hair, I look like a cancer patient. You can't tell that I have any hair here. It's all blonde. It's terrible. It's terrible. All right. And on that note, thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys next week.
Yep.